What's going on, y'all? This is Josh from Team Super Shoe, and welcome back to another episode of The Shoe Show. Today is the time we get to meet a member of the month, Matt James from the Facebook group. Matt, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I'm glad that we get to meet a little bit. You've been on the page for a couple of years. I've seen you, comment and do some things, and recently you got my attention with is it your son and the cardboard cars? I thought that was pretty cool.
The old diaper box racers that we painted up looking pretty fast.
Question number 3. Can you let me win next time?
No, you wouldn't let me win.
Hell no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, no shot.
This is a 2-horse race. Who's it going to be?
A 9-car. Chase Elliott is spun out.
White flag. And it looks as though the 9 of Chase Elliott is going to be scored the winner.
I liked it, and it looked good. Like, it almost looked like, are you any type of like an art major or anything, or?
No, everything you see in the video from painting the boxes, design, that was all my wife's. I just have really the NASCAR influence side of it.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because it looked like crisp. Like, it was usually fans, when they do things like that, or whenever they try to be creative, it's like blotchy, spray painted, horrible messes of a show. But those look that's what got my attention. It's like, man, these things look really cool.
For a little box car, you're gonna throw a baby in and push around. They probably have at least 8 to 16 hours of work put into them, so they came out looking great.
Cool. Yep. Years back, I made a Iron Man costume for Halloween, and it was all out of cardboard boxes and like plastic material. I guess I'll put it on the show. I wasn't really planning on doing it, but I'll show a picture of it. But I ended up winning, I think $500 or $600 on it just from costume contests. And so I called myself recyclable materials man. But I was Iron Man. But anyways, so I can appreciate some good cardboard art.
For sure. So, probably a lot of hours went into that too if you're winning prizes.
Yeah, I did for sure. So cool, man. So where are you from, man? Where are you at?
Minneapolis, Minnesota. One of the few NASCAR fans in the area, unfortunately. We're scattered about, but definitely not as many as down south, Carolinas, or out west even.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. And do you have races that you normally attend, or?
So I've been to Kansas twice. That's probably one of our closest home tracks. That in Chicago. Haven't been to Chicago, and then definitely did a road trip to Texas one year with some of my buddies and camped out RV style at the track, which was an absolute party. But really good time.
Cool. Yeah, I hope someday I can get my own RV and start traveling and going into the infield, or if it's like Bristol, you have camps outside of the track because it's so small. But I thought that'd be pretty cool. However, I'm not. As I get older, I am less and less of a partier. So I like to go to bed when the sun sets. So I don't know if I'll blend in or not. So we'll see.
I wouldn't be going back to the same place at my age either, but I think we'd want to look for the family camping section. Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. So do you have any stories of meeting any drivers, or what got you into NASCAR?
I started watching NASCAR on accident. Came home from church one day, flipped on the TV, and I saw it was racing. And my first thought was, well, that's stupid. And then I'm looking a little closer. I'm like, oh, they're going 200 miles an hour. That's pretty cool, actually. So I ended up watching the whole thing. Turns out it was Daytona 2001, which is epic. I mean, just how much stuff changed that day and how it changed the direction of the sport. So for me to have accidentally just kind of stumble onto that race was pretty iconic. And then I, for the next 10, 15 years, kind of kicked around as a casual fan. I tune in pretty frequently, but then really probably in the last 5 years dove into it pretty deep. And probably I feel like social media has developed to the point where you can really connect with your drivers more. For me, it's learning a lot more about the sport and how it works and the team dynamics. Not growing up in a NASCAR house or having anybody say, hey, what's going on over there? You're just kind of left in the dark on a lot of things. So I think that's put a lot of the pieces together for me.
Cool. And what brought you over to the Corey LaJoie camp?
Yeah, just a hardworking, stacking pennies guy. He strikes me as somebody that could be my neighbor. We're talking about lawnmowers or hopping a race car on Sunday. So I'm definitely relatable. He's got young kids at home. I have young kids at home. It just seems like a solid stand-up guy. Learning more, big fan of his dad too. I saw he just got named top 75 drivers from NASCAR, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Cool. And have you met any drivers or have any cool experiences?
Yeah, really just kind of in passing, Martin Truex at a fan event at the track. He was actually leaving and we bought one of his flags. And he was done with autographs, but then my wife went up and said, hey, can you hit our flag? And I think he saw it was a little bigger item. So he came over, took the time to sign that real quick, which was really cool. Daniel Suarez, another one that comes to mind. We got to meet him at Kansas Speedway. And other than that, not too much else at the track. I like just, regardless of meeting people or not, just hanging out at the track all day is a blast with, all the stuff they have to do, all the exhibit sponsors, food, whatever you want. You can really go spend a whole day there.
Yeah. Going to a race that feels like a festival, and that's honestly most of the fun, because a lot of times you go to a race and unless your guy is winning, you got to sit there and watch 400 miles to finally get to the last 100 and see if anything exciting happens or if your guy wins or whatever. But the whole day, it's a big festival. You want to go and you want to eat, you want to mingle with people, go, take pictures of the cool looking cars or hot rods, whatever they have out there. And that obviously depends on which race you go to and all that. But yeah, racing is a lot of fun. And it seems I have throughout the years, the past few years, I've really gotten into other leagues, IndyCar and GT and other series. And it all is the same way, it's, most of my stories come back from, what I did before the race even started, Yeah.
And IndyCar is definitely something I've gotten into in the last 2 to 3 years too. So that's on the list. But yeah, just one track memory that kind of comes to mind, and it popped up on Facebook. I don't know how many years ago, but I actually got to sit in Matt Kenseth's Dollar General Toyota Camry. It was an older car; they weren't racing anymore. But just see that picture sitting in that car, don't really forget that.
For sure. Cool, man. All right. Well, man, I just appreciate you coming on the show. I just kind of wanted to bring you on and get to know you. And this. Team Super Shoe, as much as, I think we're at 3,000 people now, but we're still just a small knit community that is slowly expanding as Corey is more and more discovered. People keep jumping in. And but I like to try to keep it, low key and try to keep everybody feeling, we're all just fans. We're all equal. And I just, like this opportunity to get to meet new people and hear cool stories. So, man, I just appreciate you and appreciate you being on the show, man.
Awesome. Sounds good. We'll keep stacking pennies, Josh.
All right, brother. You too, man. Thank you, Matt.
All right. See ya.